So, so, um,
They
and
use that as an excuse, maybe to continue.
absolutely, sure they do. Sure they do. Right. Um, but so there would be, I would collect a little information with you, but there's these forms that we'll be going through and filling out together, and then should he decide, we do find that sometimes they get a little intrigued by it, and if you're open to it, we say, well, come on in, and we work together with him, you
That'd
and
be
myself
great.
and him, right? And the work then is couples work. It's very structured work, very structured, and it's really focused on uh, doing nice things for the other person, improving communication skills, increasing the things you do together that don't involve alcohol or drugs.
Right now, it's like zilch.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
and um, I think that would be um, that would be really beneficial because we did at one point share a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We had common interests,
Mm-hmm.
and I think when he's drinking and drugging, he's either in a vegetated state or in a very angry or reclusive state.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no room for
Mm-hmm.
a togetherness kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get resentful. So
Right, and that's really normal to feel that way because when somebody becomes angry, it always invokes anger in the other person. That's a very normal reaction, and so that's one of the other things I just want to mention to you is we are one of the few programs I think that still advocate the use of antabuse for if one of his drugs of choice is alcohol.
I've heard about abuse,
Okay.
and I think that would be something that we or he could look into. I mean, I can't control what he
Right.
does, but
Right.
he needs in addition to other help because
Oh yeah.
he has to have stop first, in order to,
Well, we give the antabuse to them whether they want to stop or not. I mean, it is. And what I mean by that is most people really have mixed feelings about stopping.
Yeah.
Very mixed feelings, and the antabuse is a medication that if he were to go on it, actually you would be involved in his compliance of the antabuse.
Oh, really?
Yes. So this is part of the couples work that we do together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a contract that you two sign and then actually do. And so how it works is you approach him and say, "May good morning. I'd like to give you your medication." And he says, "Thank you very much." He takes the medication. You have to have him open his mouth so you can make sure he hasn't pouched it, which is a problem that we've seen. And this is all we put the cards out on the table. He drinks the water. You check to make sure he's taking it, and he says, "Thank you very much for giving me my medication." And you say, "Thank you very much for taking it."
And I have on occasion, I mean, when he's come out of whatever treatment or whatever, when he's been hospitalized for various reasons, I have, given him his medication. He never said thank you, but that would be a nice nice added bonus there.
It's a ritual that is built into the treatment because the biggest dilemma with antabuse, which works extremely well, is compliance. Is that people do not take it. It has an extremely high effectiveness rate. If he were to try to drink, he'll become violently ill.
And that's why they don't want to take it?
That's exactly why, and that's exactly why they pouch it and spit it out, or make a fuss with you. You're such a witch. Try to, So it's all of that is cleared out of the way from the very beginning, and that's why the contract is set up and agreed to, and everything is very, very clear. And if he didn't want to do antabuse, we wouldn't. Of course, we don't force him at all. And there's other medications now like naltrexone and is antidepressants and things like that. But the antabuse is daily.
Once a day in the
morning.
Once
a day, and it really does require somebody who is involved in the compliance of it. It
Mhm.
absolutely, really does. And when that is done in conjunction with some sort of counseling, and especially couples counseling like this, the effectiveness rate of it is just phenomenal.
Well, I think I'm hoping that this time around he expresses real seriousness about trying to stay sober, get sober,
Okay.
and because he has said to me that he's dying,
Mhm.
and I had told him at one point that it was his birthday, and I said you can come over, but you can't bring any alcohol,
Mhm.
and he'd never showed up.
Mm-hmm.
But he continually called me. I mean, I
Mhm.
was the only person he would keep in contact with,
Mhm.
which I feel is a good thing because at least he's reaching out to somebody.
Yeah.
So
And yet a
maybe,
huge burden to you.
yeah, it
I mean,
does.
you're his lifeline, his only one, and you're kind, compassionate. You love him
Yeah, I do.
very obviously, and I think I, what a great job you did setting those boundaries.
That was hard.
About that, but good job. And that's part of what we do here is set boundaries and things like that. So if it's all right with you, I'd like to get some of the paperwork just to get started to show you the kind of things that we go through.
Oh, great.
So
Great.
does this sound like something you would be interested in pursuing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm interested in pursuing anything that'll work, and this sounds like something that would be definitely workable.
Okay. And what do you think about whether or not you're going to tell him that you're in this counseling program and that it's for you? It's not about him.
I have no problem telling him
Okay.
because I'm very open with what I do with
Okay.
him, and I'm very like the setting boundaries thing.
Mhm.
I don't have. I mean, I think that my honesty is something that he relies on.
Okay. Because there will be some things you and I will be working on via role play and stuff about things you will actually be saying to him, and so you are free to say, this is what Jackie and I worked on, you know, and